Classified as EC because he had a learning disability. He was dyslexic, or is dyslexic. He had been involved with every single juvenile court program that we have from the time he was about 10 years old all the way through the beginning of high school. But he refused to let that stop him, and he was offered an opportunity to go play football at one of the colleges. He had never been in an interview before. He came in, was dressed in a shirt and tie, sat there in the interview and nailed it perfectly until the interview was over, and he leaned across the table to hug the lady that interviewed him. And she said, "Okay, you're great, except sit back down. Let me tell you what you just did wrong." And in his house and in his life, the way that you show appreciation and thank someone is that you hug them. But you don't do that in an interview. You can't. You have to maintain a professional distance, and you have to be courteous, and you have to be respectful. There were several young men in his school that all got recruited by the same college. He was the only one that succeeded. And so when we talk about, success stories, this young man is an amazing success story. He passed all of his classes. He's on track to pass all of his spring semester classes. And if you think that being a football player is easy, just remember, all that time you're taking out to play football, you're also responsible for all those classes that you're not at. So just what he's been able to overcome, and I think Robin might know who I'm talking about. She's nodding her head. But those are the things that we've seen. At Lincolnton High School last year, when we started this program, this is only the second year we've had the graduation coaches. At Lincoln High School, the principal sat down at the beginning of the year with our graduation coach and explained that they had a 79% graduation rate going into the 2011-2012 year. They had put a lot of programs in place, but if they did not raise the rate to over 80%, if they didn't get that 1 percentage point, he was going to consider this program to be a failure. At the end of last year, the graduation rate for Lincoln High School had gone from 79% to 86.7%.
Oh, wow.
So it's a 7-point jump. And at West Lincoln, you guys had a very similar increase too. I believe you guys had a 6-point increase. And what this is about and what makes this successful is there's someone there. The difference, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get rid of the map. Because how many people, who knows what a map is? Raise your hand. This is the interactive part. Raise your hand if you know what a map is. Wake up. Raise your hand if you know what a map is. Okay, I'm going to tell you. A map shows you where you need to be. Who's ever been lost? Raise your hand if you've ever been lost. How good is a map if you're lost? Think about it. It doesn't do you any good. It shows you where you're supposed to be, but it doesn't tell you where you are. What Paige is, and our other graduation coaches, they're GPS. They say, turn around. Don't panic. We can get you to where you need to go, but you're going to have to listen. And you're going to have to cooperate. You have to put the effort into it. And that's the difference. It's the difference between having a tool that tells you this is the way it should be and having a relationship with someone that tells you this is how we can make it for you. This is how we can get it. So.
And we constantly fight that battle, going into the schools especially. The schools are kind of that 3 strike you're out mentality. And they want to do so much, but what is difficult for them to understand is that a lot of our kids that we work with, they can't imagine the situations they come out of that morning. And so when those kids come to school and they have a bad day, there's generally a reason. They're just not choosing to be a butt that day.